Hello, I'm Sergeant Rick St. Blancard, Commander of the Public Affairs Branch. Today we're going to take you on a ride through the driver testing branch. Many of you have experienced the process of obtaining a driver's license. You may not know this, the Kentucky State Police is responsible for administering knowledge and skills testing for all operator, motorcycle, and commercial driver license applicants. I'm with Captain Williams, Commander of the Driver Testing Branch. Captain, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you? Good to see you.
Good. I just want to let you know that we appreciate you and your staff coming out to spend some time with us today.
Oh, thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Captain, can you tell me how many knowledge tests your branch handles every year?
Yes, we conduct approximately 200,000 knowledge tests for motorcycle operators and CDL per year.
Captain, out of these tests that you administer, how many of these are skills tests?
Well, we administer approximately 90,000 operators license skills tests, 6,500 CDL license skills tests, and then approximately 3,500 motorcycle skills tests. Now the difference is, in the beginning, most people come in for a knowledge test, which means they either take it on paper or they take it on a testing kiosk. Then at that point, then they move into the license testing phase, which requires the skills test.
Captain, tell us what we're going to see today as we visit the driver testing branch.
Well, we're here today at Bowman Field, so we'll be able to see our testing room where we administer the knowledge test. We'll have our testing kiosk there, and we'll be able to see some of the applicants actually taking their knowledge test. And then we'll move outside and we'll be able to see some of our license examiners actually administering the in-car operator's license test.
Great. Well, let's go.
All right.
Good morning, my name is Harold Madsen. I'm a licensed examiner for the Kentucky State Police. What's going to take place today, we're going to demonstrate the driver's testing. The first thing we're going to do today is we're going to do a pre-inspection on the car and the individuals in the car. During the skills test, what we'll basically do, we'll check for make sure you stop at stop signs correctly, if you're able to parallel park safely, whether you maintain visual contact when you're driving, making sure that you're paying attention about what you're doing as you drive. And those are some of the things we do as doing the driver's testing.
In addition to administering tests for operators' licenses, the Kentucky State Police is also in charge of administering tests for commercial vehicles as well. Recently, Captain David Jude spoke with Trooper Chris Spradlin.
Yes, sir. Well, tell us what we're going to see today. When we talk about getting a commercial driver's license, what's the process? What do we need to do?
Well, anyone to obtain a commercial driver's license, they must first take a written test and then they'll come see us at one of our lots. They must do a pre-trip, a CDL skills test, and then they must show proficiency on a road test.
You mentioned the pre-trip test. Tell me about that.
A pre-trip is where a person that wants to drive a CDL commercial motor vehicle must come show proficiency that they can determine whether or not that vehicle is safe to be driven on the road.
What's their process for making sure that their vehicle's to be safe?
They will check different components on the truck, on the outside, on the inside. Most of our CMVs are equipped with air brakes. There's checks that you must make on the air brake section to ensure that this vehicle is safe to operate on our highways. Once they complete and show proficiency in a pre-trip, then we'll conduct a CDL skills test, and that's where they make different maneuvers, backing, you'll do an offset, and they must even parallel park their semi or bus or whatever the CMV is.
They've got to parallel park this big truck that we see here.
Yes, sir, and sometimes that gets interesting.
I'd say it does. And so that's what these cones here are for, that's the skills test.
Yes, sir, that is a skills test, and this is one of our skill testing lots for one of our school buses that we're standing in at this time, yes, sir.
Hang on there, Captain. Let's not forget about our friends with a passion for riding on two wheels. Kathy Pruitt administers tests to motorcycle riders.
I do road tests, automobiles, written tests for cars, motorcycles, and I also do skills tests for motorcycles. We meet down here at the EKU driving range, and I check everyone's eligibility there, their insurance card, their permit and registration, and check their bike to make sure that it's safe to take the skills test. We have a new skills test that started June 1st, I believe. And so I ask everybody if they are familiar with it. Some of them have seen our YouTube video on it, which is good to do. Then I read the instructions for all the different skills tests that we have. Then we take off.
As you can imagine, with the high volume of skills tests completed, each testing administrator has plenty of war stories of their own.
Well, I've been involved in a couple of crashes. I dropped off in some ditches with some people that I've rode with. I've had one to actually make us turn a little bit shorter than what he should and clip the front of a car on me with his trailer. So it's been very interesting, yes sir.
She came for her test and on her motorcycle, and she decided she was going to do her own course, I guess, and just went right off in right field and off into the grass. And that's not that unusual, I guess. I had maybe one or two others that did it, but she waited a few weeks, came back for her test again. Promptly went off into left field this time, and so I haven't seen her since.
I believe probably the most awesome day I had working here at Bowman Field is when I slid down the side of the wall there at parallel parking. Not sure how it happened, but it happened.
Slid down the wall?
Slid down the wall. We went from street to wall to sliding.
The skills test administrators understand that this can be a stressful process, and they wish to leave you with one final thought.
One thing I'd like people to know is that when someone comes in for a test, sometimes they might think that we're, against them or out to get them or, hoping they're fail, and that's not the case at all. I can speak, I think, for every examiner. We want people to pass. Now, they might not, if they don't drive safely enough, we do have to fail them sometimes, but that's not what we, prefer. We really are rooting for you and do hope that you pass.
We hope that you've enjoyed this drive-through. Our objective was to give you exposure to this branch. We want to let you know how things are done here and what you need to do specifically to be successful in one of the tests that you're going to be taking. If you're interested in a career with the Kentucky State Police Driver Testing Branch, dial 1-866-360-3165. And remember to drive safely and always wear your seatbelt.